The NFL free agency has started, and it is starting to fade little by little. This is our first NFL mock draft. Join us. Let's get into it. Welcome everybody to Top Dog Coverage. It's your boy Dirty with your boy C-Dub, and we are back to conquer our first NFL mock draft of the season, 2026 season. And free agency news has been coming and going, and we just wanted to prepare ourselves for a little round one mock draft. C-Dub, how are you feeling about the mock draft right now? Are you excited? Are you stoked?
Yeah, I mean, we're less than a month away from the actual NFL draft. So, obviously, as you know, and I'm sure our audience knows by now, draft season is my most favorite season. I love the new crop of prospects that come out each year. Each year, we talk about how the next class is going to be great. The next class.
Yeah.
Well, this class is going to have some studs in it too. I know it's not maybe as has as much depth in this class. It might just be more top heavy, but there's definitely going to be some dudes in here that become all pros and have long, great careers. So love the draft season. I love everything about it, and I love getting into it, especially with you guys.
Yeah. So with that, we always like to bring back the homegrown people that we have met throughout the combine and the beginning of our journey. So we're going to bring on Flint Given. Flint, what's going on, my man? Welcome back to another year of mock draft season.
Again, thank you for having me, and I'm really excited for this draft, just like any other year. So let's get into it.
Yeah. So I mean, in case anybody's wondering, I'm a Jets fan. C-Dub is a Saints fan, and Flint is a Green Bay Packers fan. If you ever have a friend that thinks that he has more jerseys than anybody, we will send you to Flint, and he will prove them wrong. So, yeah, Flint, is there any other memorabilia or anything else that you've collected? There has to be something else that you've collected since we've spoken with you last, because your collection is absolutely ridiculous.
I only got a couple jerseys, probably. Like I got an Otto Graham jersey in the last few months.
Right.
But other than that, yeah, I haven't collected a lot, in the last year or so. But
yeah.
So what's your most prized possession of your memorabilia collection?
In terms of like value, I think it's probably this Super Bowl, is it 42, the 2007 Giants helmet. It's all their signatures.
Okay. Is that your personal favorite? Like if you had a house fire, that's the first thing you're taking?
I do like the Broncos Jerry Rice signed one. It's just unique.
Okay.
That's solid. That's solid.
Because he obviously never played for him, but he retired as a Bronco.
Fun fact. I did not know that.
Yeah, he's always got like some little tidbits that like you're waiting for him to say them, you know what I mean? And that obviously you always have a gem to bring to the story.
Like if you look up his retirement thing, it has a Denver Broncos logo in the back.
That's so wild.
I forget if he's 41, 42 or whatever at that point. That would have been his 21st year.
Wow.
But yeah.
Well, that again, man, you're always bringing the heat here with us, so it's I can't wait for us to get into some of our questions and our quizzes and stuff like that, because I have a feeling Flint's really gonna know some of this stuff too. So
we haven't done that in a while. Last time we did it was with Darvin.
Yeah, we did it with Darvin. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Kidsy. So shout out to Darvin, Kidsy. D-Bone. So shout outs to FRJ, Z1J.
What's up, G?
Yep. Says, what's up, gang? Gang. Hope you're having a great day, man. Hope everything is well out there. But should we jump right into the Wheel of Destiny? I mean, we haven't done this for folks joining in now. We have this thing called the Wheel of Destiny. We do not let our people choose who they're going to pick in this round 1 mock draft. So we're going to spin the Wheel of Destiny, and the Wheel of Destiny takes over.
Yeah, we it's the Wheel of Destiny, but Dirty tends to rig it, so he always lands on the Jets.
I don't. Why?
So
why? I'm always in trouble for rigging it.
I mean, that's what it is. You know,
Okay.
you can't tempt destiny. You can't fight it.
I guess not. All right. So with that being said, I will. I guess just be on.
Bring on the wheel.
Bring on the wheel. I'll just start cheating now, and we'll bring on the Wheel of Destiny so people can see what we're getting into here. And there it is, the Wheel of Destiny. Let's see.
In all its glory.
And let's make it a little bit bigger. What do you say? There we go.
Yeah.
Folks at home, we're going to spin to see. I'm going to go first, right? I guess. Actually, no, we're going to give it to Flint. Flint.
Yeah.
You're
our guest.
You're the guest here, so we are going to make sure that you're taken care of first. So we're going to spin the wheel for Flint.
Yeah.
And let's see where it lands. What do you got in this first mock draft? Vikings.
I feel like this happened last year.
I feel like
I got the Bears last year, I think.
Did you? You're staying in the division, my friend. You're definitely staying in this division. Okay, no doubt. All right, we'll work our way backwards. So we got the Minnesota Vikings, and we will take away. There we go. C-Dub?
Yeah.
No way. We're staying in this division. Okay.
All right. Bear down, homie.
Bear down. All right.
I'll get my nails painted.
What? All right. Let's see what we got here. All right.
The chefs.
The chefs. The chefs it is. All right. So let's get into a little mock draft and see where we're at right now. So we will remove this. It's all right. And add him right back to the stage. All right, and he's back. We're just playing a little C-Dub roulette here. So shout outs to Benjamin Sanchez. Okay. Hello, sir. How are you? Hope you're enjoying the show. All right. So what we will do here, we'll stop that screen for a moment, and we will bring in the NFL draft. So we're going to do
We need the chime.
You know what? Next time I will get that. So we had I will get that ready to rock and roll. So we got the Bears, the Minnesota Vikings, and the Chefs. Correct?
Chefs, baby. Yep.
All right. So the Bears, Minnesota Vikings, and the Chef. Okay. All right. We'll bring it on.
Bring it on again.
Bring it on. All right. Let's get in here.
Sometime today.
I gotcha. All right. Can we all see this?
Yeah, I can see
We've
it.
got this rocking and rolling here. All right.
Yeah.
So we will start this. We'll go slow. And let me just go backwards real quick. Sorry. I'm going to go slow. Make sure that we can see everything. Boom, boom, enter. All right. So I think we'll start this off.
I only see the co-pilot search, my friend.
Okay. Gotcha.
This is how the sausage is made, folks.
This is how... All right. This is
Technology's hard.
That you already know me and technology don't get along. And I know. Here we go. There it is. There's that. Okay. We're good.
Yeah.
We can all see. We can all hear. That's good. All right. So we'll start it off right off the bat. So we got Fernando Mendoza going to the Raiders. Ruben Bain going to the Jets at number 2. David Bailey going to the Cardinals at 3. Arvell Reese to the Titans at 4. Carnell Tate to the New York Giants at 5. Sonny Styles, the linebacker, going to the Browns at 6. Jordan Tyson, the wide receiver, going to Washington at 7. Jeremiah Love headed to the Saints at 8. And now Kansas City is on the clock. I'm going to look at some trade offers here. We got Cincinnati and going down 1 for
a future second.
And a future second. Or you go pick 19, pick up 51 in Carolina 7. I don't think they're going to go back down that far. Pick 13, 61 and 93. That's actually not too bad, but I don't think they want to miss out on a good player here. But I think because they did solidify a little bit of stuff going on in free agency. I'm going to go with the best player available here, and that is Caleb Downs. I'm going to take Caleb Downs in the backfield, and we'll just go straight with that. The Bengals get Caleb Lomu, 10. The Dolphins, Francis Mwaga at 11. 12, Dylan Thieneman, the safety from Oregon, going to Dallas. Spencer Fano going to the Los Angeles Rams at 13. Kenyon Sadiq to the Ravens at 14. Avian Terrell to the Bucks at 15. 16, the Jets pick Peter Woods. And 17, you have Caden Proctor. Okay, so 18, the Minnesota Vikings are up. We're going to give you a little bit of look-see here through some trades if you want to take a look.
Okay, you can look at the next offer. Could I just see the receivers available?
Sure.
Since I don't think there's been a trade, let me trade back with Dallas 2 spots because there's 2 guys I like for them.
Okay. So trading back with Dallas to 2 spots. So pick 18 and 163 going to Dallas for pick 20, and Dallas is 2027 second. He's going to accept that. They come right in and get Keldrick Falk out of Auburn. And at 19, the Panthers pick Monroe Freeling, the offensive tackle from Georgia. And you are back on the clock at 20 here, my friend. And you have another offer from C-Dub's Saints here.
Yeah, that's a little too far.
So. A little bit. Go to the next one?
Yeah, you can go to the next one. Yeah, I'm not interested. I think so just in my head, I'm thinking between Lemon and Mansour Delane.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think I'm going to go with Lemon because I just think they I don't think Addison's in their long-term plans. And, obviously they had quarterback struggles, but I think bolstering that receiving core with Naylor going as a free agent to Las Vegas. So that's just my logic. I think they're going to go Lemon.
Yeah, I think that's really good. Actually, the fact that you traded down, got some picks, and still ended up with Makai Lemon, I think that's a pretty good draft right there.
Great value there.
Yeah. So Makai Lemon to the Vikings at 20. Jeremiah McCoy. Dermod McCoy going to Pittsburgh at 21. Vega Ione to the Raiders at 22. Omar Cooper Jr., wide receiver from Indiana, going to the Eagles at 23. And Blake Miller, the offensive tackle for Clemson, at 24. Bears are on the clock. C-Dub.
Nope. I'm good. It's a lot of value, but no. I'm good. Can't Share the Packers. Ooh. Maybe we might look at that. Do you mind showing me the full board, please?
Sure.
So a lot to unpack here.
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot of guys on the board. I mean, Caden McDonald, stud in the middle. But the thing that pops out at me is Mansour Delane, arguably the number one corner in this draft.
Mm-hmm.
Ran a blazing 4.3 at the Pro Day for LSU yesterday. And him just staring there at the face, I think he could slot in Dennis Allen's defense and add another element in that backfield, that defensive backfield with Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon, and Tyreek Stevenson. So going to give me Mansour Delane. We'll figure out the rest. That's great value there.
That is great value. So Chicago Bears at 25 picking LSU's cornerback Mansour Delane, and 26 the Buffalo Bills are picking up Akeem Mesidor, the edge from Miami. 27 San Francisco, Casey Concepcion, wide receiver from Texas A&M. Brandon Siss going to the Texans, the cornerback out of South Carolina, and the Chiefs are back on the clock. Take a look at some offers here, going back to 41 and 72. A little bit too far back. They do need a little bit of help here. So I think they could use a little bit of help in a couple different areas. But right here is a guy that you don't want to miss. You can go a couple different ways, but you have Caden McDonald, right? 6'3", 326. That's a big old dude that's going to stop your run block. And then you have Kristen Miller out of Georgia. And I think this year with the defensive tackles is something that they could really grab. But I'm going to throw a curveball at you, and I'm going to go Colton Hood. They just lost a cornerback and traded one away.
They lost two corners.
Yep. So I'm going to actually, even though defensive tackle is some big names, I think they have to fill this in, and I'm going to go with the cornerback from Tennessee, Colton Hood. So 30, TJ Parker, the edge from Clemson, going to Miami, and 31, CJ Allen, the linebacker from Georgia, and then 32, D'Angelo Pons, the cornerback from Indiana. So that's our first round. First round is good. So Caleb Downs, they went backfield on this. So Caleb Downs for the Kansas City Chiefs at 9, safety from Ohio State, and Colton Hood, the cornerback from Tennessee, at 29. CW, you want to go through your Chicago Bear there?
Yeah, I mean, we had the number one corner in the draft slide down pretty far. So the Chicago Bears took corner Mansour Delane out of LSU at pick 25. Just some youth and some electric speed in the defensive backfield there. Yeah.
And then Minnesota Vikings over here did some work, actually. Not too bad here. Flint, you wanna go through the Minnesota here, trading down, and who they picked up?
Yeah, I thought I was looking more like corners, defense tackle, and the receivers, and going back 2 picks with some of the guys that were on the board. I thought again a second round, I was still probably going to get who I want, or at least one of the guys I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the offense had more issues in the defense. Obviously, there's positions like they need to replace, Allen and Hargrave, and eventually, Harrison Smith. They don't, they still need safety, but for just doing 1 pick, I thought receiver was kind of in need, help his offense.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Mekhi Lemon's a stud, man. I mean, he just plays with such an aggressiveness, and he's just going to, dominate in that slot in Minnesota. Him and Kyler, I think they could create a dangerous duo up there.
Yeah, I think looking at that kind of draft right there, especially picking up, that can help any quarterback having that kind of weaponry on the Minnesota Vikings. He is an absolute beast in the slot. he's a perfect frame for it. He's a bulldozer. He wants to make sure that he gets the first down. He has very, very good hands. And the fact that, I think it was great. You moved down, got some picks out of it, and still picked them up, which is great value for them. And the fact that Chicago's defense actually showed up and was still able to get the best corners in this draft to fall all the way down. But there are a lot. If we're talking real here, there's a lot of linebackers in here. There's a good amount of defensive tackles, wide receivers. So a lot of these good players do have a chance to fall down, and some people can get some really good gems in this first round. And I think there might be more, in my opinion. I think there's going to be some more people jumping back into the first if they see value, if this is their guys that they really need, and if they're really in like rebuild mode of some sort, or maybe just one guy away. If you're one guy away from what you think your team could be, what's stopping somebody from moving back up?
Gotta have two to tango.
Gotta have two to tango. That is sure. But we had three today, which so we appreciate you coming in, Flint, for this this first rounder. Quick, easy. Everything was simple, but I think we had some good prospects in that first round. So we did it nice and slow. Everything was good, and So, what do you guys think could happen in this draft? Maybe a surprise. Like, do you guys see a team kind of coming back in, or trading out of, or anything like that?
I mean, I guess I'll go. I think there's a possibility of maybe a lot of trades, just because there's not a lot. It's not very top heavy. Like, there's a few, and then the position of value, I don't know if it's going to matter as much this year, because like the best players are at positions that are not as valuable, at least for a lot of teams. And so I don't know if teams are going to just back out. And then you have next year's, I know next year's draft in theory should be way better, especially, quarterback, especially. So I just think there could be a lot of movement, but maybe, I could be wrong. Other years we probably said that, and then there's not as much. So that'd just be my guess.
Yeah, I think you touched on a really important piece. Is a lot of the elite players are at non-premium positions, right? Like running back, safety, linebacker, those type of deals. So it'd be really interesting to see how much of this positional value matters to these teams, especially in a draft class like this one. And you got one quarterback at the top that's probably considered a first rounder, right? Can a couple more sneak into there? There's been a lot of talk about Ty Simpson, and from there, I mean, who's desperate enough to take another quarterback? There's always a quarterback tax, a premium, right? So I'm looking at that over under is two quarterbacks. Are we gonna get one that's over? Or are we gonna stay under that? So that's an interesting piece. And you have a lot of outliers at like the edge rusher positions, right? A lot of guys with shorter arms. Athletics, great production, but at the same time, a couple of them are like I said, outliers compared to guys in years past. So how much does that affect their draft position?
Yeah, you see this big jump that comes in, right? And we see it every year. Everybody's name is up there, and this person's going to get picked at the top, and all of a sudden free agency starts, and then things start to settle down a little bit. And then you watch the combine, and you watch the speed and the measurements and the broad jumps and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden people start coming from here over to here, and then people start hopping people. And I mean, we've seen it every single year, but this year, when we went to the combine, actually, we were able to see Mike Washington blazing. You know what I mean? And still nobody's really been talking about Coleman, the running back, too much. And he's supposedly kind of like what you're saying, C-Dub, is you have people going above other people. I see him getting drafted ahead of Washington Jr. and.
You're talking about the Jonah Coleman, the Washington running back?
And you don't really hear too many people really discussing him. You know what I mean? You hear more about the lightning speed of Washington and everything like that. But you don't really hear too many people breaking down a lot on Coleman. So yeah, you never know what's going to happen and where it's going to go.
Yeah, I mean, they're two guys that I think I kind of like a little bit more than Coleman. I think Coleman can be a decent player. Is Jeremiah Love's running mate, Jadarian Price? I think he could be a guy that is probably going to be moved up and not a lot of tread on the tires. And he showed that he can also be a playmaker. And the Nebraska running back, Emmett Johnson, I think he can be a bowling ball and a kind of a productive back in an NFL offense there. So.
Flint, who do you want to see the Packers grab in the first round as a Packers fan?
Well, they don't have a first round pick, so I guess.
Oh, they don't have one this year. Oh,
no one.
How does that make you feel?
Yeah, you just don't. I just ignore it. Like I just treat it like I just am gonna enjoy the draft. Like normally, like obviously, like last year, like I thought maybe a receiver, a corner was probably gonna be their pick. Because ultimately it was Golden. Yeah. But and it was in Green Bay, so that was exciting. But
yeah,
I'm just gonna watch it like normal, treat it the same. And the Packers was one pick, probably. I mean, I don't think they're trading up. So, yeah, and then I know I'm rooting for the Steelers a little bit, so I guess I'm looking at their pick at 21 a little bit, and but
I hear you on that.
And in terms of your running back stuff you're talking about, like there's other guys like the Penn State guys, Allen and Nick Singleton. There's I think Taylor was either Virginia, I think. That some people like, but I've heard all different perspectives or views on these running backs. Like I've seen guys that rate 2 or 3 on people's boards, and then some might get 10.
Yeah, it's one of those pick your flavors. What kind of running back do you like?
Absolutely. C-Dub, what are you looking at now that the Saints grab Travis Etienne? Let's make sure we say the name correct, right? We don't want to mess that up. But since they did sign him, do you think that if Jeremiah Love does fall to you guys, that you would still grab somebody like that? Or
probably not. I think the two kind of main positions, or I guess you could really look at. So I think for the Saints, it's really going to be a playmaker, a receiver. I think it's probably a number one priority at pick 8, or shoring up the defense. I mean, if one of the edge rushers, like a David Bailey, somehow falls to that, I think if you shore up, you could take Mansour Delane. You can always add another cornerback in the room. My personal favorite would be Caleb Downs. I just think he's a phenomenal safety, and I think he could start his career out early playing in that nickel, and I think he would excel and dominate. And I think he could be a transformational player on that defense, especially in Brandon Staley's defense, playing that star position. And eventually down the line, he could, end up taking over for Justin Reed, or, him and Jonas Sanker could make a pretty good tandem. But I think ideally, I don't think if Love is there, I don't think they'd take him. But I don't think that he'll fall to pick 8 as well.
Yeah, it's not looking promising that he's going to go that far now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think the Saints or the Chiefs would have paid big money to running backs if they thought there was a chance he was going to be there.
That's fair. Yeah, that's more than fair. Whoever gets him is going to get it. They're going to get a dime. It's going to be Yeah,
you just hope it's a team that can maximize his contract. He's coming in. He's going to be a younger rookie, electrifying playmaker. But how much does that really elevate a team? You can look at it with Saquon Barkley and Ashton Genty. Two backs that got picked extremely high, didn't really pan out too well for those franchises. Obviously, Saquon, the second contract on a different team, won a Super Bowl, right? So these running backs can be that missing piece that can elevate a team to get there. But when you're picking this high in the draft, typically you're not a good team. So be interesting.
As soon as you get a good O-line or a decent O-line, things change around a little bit. You know what I mean? You have a little bit more room to run and, to show your talent off a lot more. So and that's exactly what happened when he went to Philly, and they need to work on, the Raiders came in, grabbed that center, Linderbaum from Baltimore. And I think that's what they're trying to do right now, to give a little bit more room for uh, was it Flint?
Are you talking about Genty or are you talking about
No, well, I'm talking about
Kubiak?
Kubiak. Sorry, yeah.
the coach? Yeah.
Yeah.
So he had, they're trying to build that O line over there so that Genty can have a little bit more room to do what he's got to do, even though they're going to have like a two running back area over there. But they had the builder. They had a really bad O line last year, so this free agency they spent a little bit trying to upgrade it. So to your point, C-Dub, yeah, you know what I mean. Genty was a high pick, and the only way to get him rocking and rolling is to get the offensive line stronger.
For sure. So what do you want your Jets to do? They have 2 picks in this draft class, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do they have 2 or 3 next year?
They have 3 next year, 2 this year.
All right. So that's a lot of draft capital. So what would you like to see your Jets do?
I would like to see my Jets. Look, I would take. I know it's very typical right now, but take Arvell Reese, let him play off ball, and you got Demario Davis back there. That is 100%. I think you and I both know, all 3 of us know, he's a leader, and he could train this kid to be your linebacker for the next 6 to 7 years. You know what I mean? Like, you could really solidify the middle of that field, that center of the defense, as the green dot guy to make calls. And when Demario Davis goes on his way out, Arvell Reese can come right in comfortably. You know what I mean? He doesn't really have to overthink it. So I would say Arvell Reese at 2, and then at 16, I'm looking for a weapon. I'm looking to add to that offense. We have Adian Mitchell over there, but I believe that if Mekhi Lemon does fall, I would love for them to pick up a slot guy like that. That would absolutely, I would love to see that.
Does it have to be receiver?
I don't think
the big 3 receivers are off the board and you have Sadiq sitting there.
I think that they would double up on defense. I wouldn't mind Sadiq, because that's 2 really good tight ends that you would have. I just don't think that they're going to do that. I think if there's another a gem on defense still sitting there, I think they're going to go after it. But I wouldn't be against that at all. He's a freak of nature, so it's I think that would be BPA at that point for them. But I don't know. I'm you don't know until it falls, right? I mean, we've all seen, CeeDee Lamb fell to how far did CeeDee Lamb fall? Nobody expected him to fall that far. So it all depends. But
the draft's fascinating.
It is. It absolutely is. My one bold take is, like I said, Sadiq falls out of 10, and Ty Simpson falls out of the first.
Yeah, I can only get behind one of those. I can't get behind. I just think quarterbacks are too valuable, and despite the 8 starts, I mean, you had Trubisky go 3rd overall, and he only had X amount of starts too. So, I just think people are so desperate for a franchise guy that I'd be very hard pressed to see Ty Simpson fall in the first round.
I hear you. Yeah, that makes sense. It's and the weird thing is, if we're looking at it, what would make him be an outlier from all these other people who haven't really started so many games, right? Or I'm sorry, all these other quarterbacks that have come in, haven't played that many games, and have failed to, be what these teams expect them to be, right? After not, but
yeah,
like you said,
I think one thing with Simpson is he stayed at that program through everything, right? He waited his shot, and he got his shot to start this year. So he's been in the same system. He's been at Alabama this entire career, and I think that probably says something to these NFL teams too. So
yeah, I can say that it's a loyalty right there too. So
for sure.
Flint, what do you think about Ty Simpson?
I mean, I like him. I guess it just always depends where they're getting drafted, and also probably by who. But I think he's probably from 16 from the Jets on to early second is probably where he goes, obviously. And I mean, preferably you would like to have a capable starter. I don't think you rush him in, necessarily.
Yeah.
Like obviously you would love most quarterbacks to sit, but most of those teams, especially that need quarterbacks, don't have a guy. And then even then you might start a couple games and then they ultimately bench the guy. So, but I'd like to see Simpson go to a situation, like even Pittsburgh, if he was behind Rodgers, or I mean these other teams, like if he goes like the Jets or the Cardinals, he's probably playing, somewhat sooner. Obviously depends how those teams, how the schedule goes. But you were going to say something?
Yeah, my question for you would be: do you have a specific situation that you think he could thrive in, or where would you like to see him where he could best be a success?
Yeah, I mean, I think Pittsburgh's a good fit with Mike McCarthy. Trying to think of other team. I think he also could fit the Cardinals. I just don't like the quarterback room right now, and if they're kind of bad like last year.
Dirty loves Brissett. I mean, that's his guy. If he could have him on the Jets, he'd have him. That's his go.
But they have Gardner Minshew too. But I just feel like he might get rushed onto the field, and the Cardinals obviously had 3 wins. I do view the Cardinals a little bit better than a 3-win team for whatever reason. And that's not just because they were a bunch of close games, but and I
probably because they got one of the best tight ends ever in the world.
Yeah, I mean they have some receivers and tight end, like they have at least some skill positions and running backs too. So
well, with Arizona, I mean, the new head coach, his brother, drafted Jordan Love and sat him for most of the beginning of his career. So I could definitely see him following the same blueprint. Let Brissett and Minshew go out there and get pummeled until they can build the team around them, and then start him in year 2, year 3, or whatever. So I think that he has some insight there too, just from his brother and what he did.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, I know as a Jets fan, you at least seen LaFleur's offense, him being the play caller. I thought he actually did just from my perspective, a solid job with Zach Wilson the year. It was 2 years, right? His first 2 years with Zach Wilson, I think he had.
Yeah, and that was the thing. He did do a great job. Like it's not like his offense wasn't a good offense. It was the pieces that team had just weren't good, so but the scheme, if you look at it, he did have some flips, some turns, some mirrors, some real catchy plays that you're just like, oh, like that able to move the ball into chains. So
yeah, I mean, I always remember the game. If you probably remember, they went to Lambeau Field and they kind of killed the Packers. Probably like an early October game, something like that. It was somewhat early in the season, like week 6 or so.
Yeah. But
I remember they did reverses. They did, I think, a flea flicker. I know the big Corey Davis pass. They had Breece Hall had a big run. And obviously defensively, they had a bunch of sacks and stuff. But just from a LaFleur standpoint, I mean, I thought he called a pretty good game. Just seeing that game live and seeing what he did with what he had, pretty much.
I think he's a good play caller. I also think that they have who do they have over there that he's going to help with the offense again?
You think of the former offensive line coach, or
talking about Jesus?
No, not JC. No. Who was the guy that was in Denver? Got fired from Denver, went to the Jets, got fired from the Jets. The offense coordinator.
Oh, Morton, maybe.
No. He's worked with Aaron Rodgers.
You're not talking about Adam Gase, right?
Because he's Hackett then, probably.
Hackett, yeah,
Hackett. Nathaniel Hackett. Yeah.
But they said they're bringing him in, but he will not be play calling. It will ultimately be the head coach.
I don't know how much impact Hackett's gonna have, but who knows? And it's hard to say what he will do or like if Simpson plays well, like how much Hackett really has done. It's hard to say behind.
It's hard to wrap my head around why he's going to be there, to be honest. Yeah. But
I mean, he was with the Packers last year. He's been.
LaFleur needs their Hackett. Okay.
It's starting to look like
if there's a LaFleur, there needs to be a Hackett. It's just fate. It's destiny.
I'm trying to think. just in terms of other teams, like I thought like the Dolphins and Brown, but I don't know if they're great situations. So just trying to think of other teams you could, for in terms of Simpson, where he could go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it's fair.
Yeah, it's we'll see how everything goes, but the draft was brought to you by Norse-Hall.com. It is a proud sponsor of the show, so go to Norse-Hall.com to make sure that you guys get some hot sauce and some mead, some honey wine. So go to Norse-Hall.com. But Flint, we appreciate you joining the show with us today. We always appreciate everything. And next time we'll move to round 2. Okay, we'll do round 1 and round 2, but that does it for today's draft, the mock draft. Good job to both of you gentlemen. But make sure you guys follow every all of us on Top Dog Coverage. So follow us at Top Dog Coverage on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Swipe up on Apple, Spotify. Hit the 5 stars, leave a comment, go to topdogcoverage.com, vote for your favorite team, and also topdogcoverage@gmail.com, and let us know what rivals you guys want us to talk about. We'll talk about it on the show, or some favorite football stories. But that does it for us. It's your boy Dirty, your boy C-Dub, and your boy Flint Given. We are out. Have a great night. Peace.
See ya.